Hi, I'm Chip, and I really dislike Yorion. But today I've caved to peer pressure, and we're playing by Luck's red-white Yorion list. But before we get to that, I just think it's important I explain to you all why I'm so hesitant to play with Yorion in a Death and Taxes list. Companion is a mechanic that got released in Ikoria. Ikoria is an otherwise fairly tame set, but thanks to the Companion mechanic, Ikoria has changed the face of Magic the Gathering forever. Companions started as cards that you could announce you had in your sideboard and cast them from outside of the game, as long as your deck met the certain deck building restrictions. So if you built your deck in a certain way, you could get to start the game with effectively an 8th card in your hand that, outside of counterspells, had very few ways to be interacted with. And almost immediately this caused problems. Loris ended up being temporarily banned in Vintage. Vintage, the format where Magic's oldest and most powerful spells are available to play, got broken by the cat matriarch herself. This led to a rule change to rebalance companions. Now, instead of casting your companion, you have to pay 3 mana to add it to your hand from your sideboard. This, however, still has the same 8th card problem, but now the spell is just a 3 mana split-second sorcery that draws you your companion.
Well, that just sounds like
the 8th card problem
with extra steps.
Now you're thinking, but Chip, if companions are so broken, why don't you run them? And the truth is I do. However, a side effect of Death and Taxes being a mainstay of the channel is that unless I want to get spicy with Zerda the Dawnwaker...
Not today, old friend. But don't worry. Holidays are just around the corner.
Yorion really is the only viable option for Taxes as a companion. And I hate Yorion. From memory there are 10 companions, 5 of which see frequent modern play. Lurrus, Gigantha, Ubosh, Kahira, and Yorion. What separates Yorion from the other 4 is while the other 4 have deck building restrictions that prevents you from running certain cards, Yorion does not. For Yorion to be your companion, you have to run at least 20 additional cards in your main deck. This might allow for greater card selection when deck building, but it does make it harder to hit the cards you need when playing a game. As I showed in a previous video, running 4 copies of a card in a Yorion list is the same equivalent as running 3 copies of a card in a 60 card list. So Yorion has no restriction on the type of cards you can run, and you only have to run 20 extra cards in your main deck. This seems, on paper, to be an easy cost to pay. But this is not the only cost you pay. Firstly, to have a companion in Modern means your sideboard is reduced from 15 cards to 14 cards to make space for the companion. But Yorion, unlike the other companions, has an issue, and it's that a Yorion deck will always be a Yorion deck.
You may wish for an apple or an orange, but you will get
a Yorion deck. Take Loris for example. Its cost is you cannot run any permanents with a CMC or mana value greater than 2. But let's say in your local meta, your Loris deck can beat everyone except that one tribal player. Well, you can absolutely run 4 copies of Plague Engineer in your sideboard, and in games 2 and 3 you can bring them in. This means Loris can't be your companion in that matchup, but you can move it to the main board to still have that effect. So in games 2 and 3, if you choose, you can play a companionless game and run whatever cards you like. The restriction no longer applies. Games 2 and 3 with a Yorion list, you still have an additional 20 cards in your deck. So not only is it harder to find your answers in game 1, but it's harder to find your sideboard cards in game 2 and 3. In fact, running Yorion as a companion costs you the equivalent of 4.5 sideboard cards. And unlike the other 4 commonly played companions, which have effects that can be relevant for as long as they exist on the battlefield, Yorion's ability is an ETB. An ETB that does nothing unless you already have non-land permanents on the battlefield, and because it's an ETB, it will not trigger again without additional support. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of Yorion lists. But enough of you have asked, so that's why today I am running by Luck's red-white Yorion Taxes list. It's using cards like Urza's Saga and Imperial Recruiter to give us a total of 19 tutor effects to help pay Yorion's cost. Also, making Yorion as free as possible does make it more appealing for me, and I also chose this list because it doesn't have any copies of Ragavan, and given a playset of Ragavan is worth 550 Australian dollars and I'd like to eat at some point this week, I've decided that a non-Ragavan list is probably the way to go. I'll leave a full deck list down in the description, and while you're down there reading the novel that is that deck list, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to leave it a like. That lets me know this is more of the content you'd like to see. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed, hello everyone, my name is Chip, I said that before, but hey, good to say it again. And I play a lot of Death and Taxes, I play a lot of Magic, I do play some other games occasionally, and I'm hoping to work more of them into the rotation. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please consider subscribing. We're almost at 900 subscribers. And with all that said, let's get on with the games. Alrighty, round 1 and we have won the die roll. Let's reveal the Yorion. Can we keep this with the power of Urza's Saga? And we've got turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 plays, so yeah, I'm going to. Even if our turn 1 and turn 2 plays are in the Aether Vial, we've got cards we can draw into. Let's lead on Arid Mesa and pass. Probably should have played an Aether Vial, hey? I hear that card's better when you play it. Alright. Game 1, we're already a punt. This is an Agadeem's Awakening from our opponent. So, I wonder what's happening. Prismatic Vista. Well, let's lead Urza's Saga, and then let's play Aether Vial, and I guess we'll play Aether Vial. Now they know we had it. Pass the turn there. Yep, this is this manaless stack, which I've beaten in practice games with this list, but who knows? All right, let's tick up the Aether Vials. Prismatic Ending, okay. Let's play Inspiring Vantage and pass. So this is like Charbelcher plus, like a dredge plan, I suppose. Seagate Reborn, they're passing. Well, let's make a construct. Go to our turn. We do have a mana that we can leave untapped, so we're going to make a construct. So let's get Relic of Progenitus. Play Sunbaked Canyon, go to combat, swing in for 5. Pass the turn there. Shadowskull, there's the Charbelcher. We have an answer to that in hand. All right, so we're going to tick up one Aether Vial, but not the other. Weathered Wayfarer 2. Let's play Inspiring Vantage, go to combat, swing in for 10. Opponent takes it, activate Aether Vial, Skyclave Apparition, take the Charbelcher.
Get over here!
And I guess we run out the Wayfarer and pass. And opponent scoops it up there. All right, good. We have answers for that list. I recognized it pretty early, and even with the punt of the Aether Vials, we were able to play through it. So I think this is a Revoker's in, Pithing Needle in, Rest in Peace in, Soul Guide Lantern style in, maybe even a Shield Breaker. Because it doesn't look like they can play the Charbelcher and have it go off in the same turn, as well as Magus. Magus is really good. Man, most of our sideboard just came in there, didn't it? I think we can cut, all their stuff's too big for Prismatic Ending, so I'm going to cut that. And I think Flickerwisp is good. Charming Prince is not so good. We'll get rid of that. Relic-Warder's okay. Sanctifier en-Vec's good. Basically all our Grave Hate's good. Just trying to figure out what to cut. Sanctum Prelate, you can name 4 and stop the Charbelcher as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to trim 2 Solitudes, 2 Giver of Runes. It's probably not great, but I think our tools are much better. But I do want to keep some creature removal in case there's something I've missed. All right. Yorion, revealed. 1 lander. Gonna mulligan. His hand's way better. We will keep, I think it's Plains to the bottom. Maybe it was Vial to the bottom there, actually. Shadowskull from our opponent. Is it Shadowskull? Yeah, Shadowskull. Pithing Needle 2. Okay. So then Plains, Aether Vial, pass, Seagate Reborn, Pentad Prism. Okay, so we can name that. Is that a mana ability though? Oh, that might be a mana ability. I'd say it is. I would call that a mana ability. Okay, let's tick up the Aether Vial. Skyclave as well. Okay, I don't feel as naked now. Play the Needleverge as a white land. I think we just kind of have to, if we needle now. What if they got Balustrade Spy or Undercity Informer? Their combo goes off and it's going to suck. They've only got 1 card in hand. Let's name Goblin Charbelcher. And then let's run out the Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn there. Opponent does nothing and passes. Would love a land here. Didn't hit it, but another Vial is pretty good. So let's run out the Aether Vial. Let's go to combat, swing in for 1. If we can fade a turn, I'd be really happy. Being able to draw a land would be amazing. We can take our opponent off a lot of mana. Balustrade Spy. Okay, well, now they get to do their graveyard stuff. Narcomoebas and Creeping Chills. Okay. Only 2 Narcomoebas though. Maybe they only need 2. Sword of the Meeks are going to equip. They get the Salvage Titan. Okay. Phasmagorian. Okay. Return Salvage Titan to their hand. Then all the... Okay. So they're going to get a bunch of Vengevines back, I guess. And that's how they're going to kill us. It's 4 Vengevines. We can get 1 blocker. So we're dead. Okay, missed the land drop at a crucial time. Happens. Might even bring in Archon. Archon seems cool. Maybe Solitude's not as bad as I thought it was. Let's cut the Sanctum Prelate. That's a bit cute. Maybe just all the Giver of Runes. Run it like that. See what happens. All right, won the die roll. Let's play first. Reveal the Yorion. I mean, Field of Ruin's good. We have, I suppose we technically have white mana. Let's keep. Play the Needleverge as a pillar. Run out Shadowspear. Pass. Shadowskull. And they pass. Plains as well. Let's run out Plains. Phyrexian Revoker, Pentad Prism, pass the turn there. Turn Timber, opponent reveals a Pentad Prism. Okay, they can't activate the ability though, so that's good. Let's play Field of Ruin, let's blow up the green, get ourselves a Plains. Opponent doesn't have the basic. Okay, let's go to combat, swing in for 2, take it down to 15, pass the turn there. Agadim, tapped. Go to our turn. Let's go Plains. I think we just run out the Skyclave here. Take out the Pentad Prison, just in case they have a way to deal with this. Swing in for 2. Pass the turn there. Shadowskull smashing. Another Pentad Prism. Okay. Let's play the Needleverge. Think I'm just going to equip the Shadowspear to the Skyclave. Go to combat. Swing in for 5. Let's get Yorion to hand. Hope we survive. It does nothing and passes. They missed a land drop. Okay. Inspiring Vantage. Not a lot of help there. Play the mountain. Go to combat. Swing in. Pass the turn there. And opponent scoops it up there. Okay. So, I mean, it's a cool deck, but I don't think it does a lot what our opponent's doing, and it's pretty easy to tax out. So maybe it's really good against other matchups, but against us, we just dominate it. So yeah, really happy with how that went. All right, round 2, we lost the die roll. We're versing another Yorion deck. It's a really solid hand I'm going to keep. Surprised by the good hands, to be honest. Was expecting a lot worse. Dark Slick Shores. All right, well, let's go. Dark Slick Shores. So what does that mean? Some sort of Urza list, probably. In which case, let's go Plains. I think it's still Giver of Runes here. Could hold up Counterspell, in which case Esper Sentinel's better. Let's run out the Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn there. Architects of Will. Okay, so it's Cascade, in which case Esper Sentinel's probably the right move. Living End. They play Misty Rainforest. They're going to grief us. Grief is evoked. Okay, sure, take a card, I guess. Yeah, Giver of Runes is probably what they have to take there because everything else has an ETB, so it triggers when they shoot their shot. Let's go to our turn. Aether Vial. So what if we just play Prismatic Vista, run out Aether Vial, go to combat, swing in for 1? Because we could run out the Stoneforge, but when they go off, they'll take out the Stoneforge. If we run out afterwards, we can still get it into play and get the trigger, and we can maybe get a Batterskull or a Kaldra into play. Stomping Ground, tapped. They go to their turn. Shardless Agent, Cascades, Living End. So we get to draw Plains. Okay, that's good. So Solitude, ditching Flickerwisp, evoked. So we could hit our own Esper Sentinel here, gain a tiny bit of life. It already drew as a card. Yeah, okay, maybe the life will be relevant. Okay. Architect's Will comes back and they're going to grief the Stoneforge away. Okay, little painful. So let's take out the grief. So yeah, maybe we should have kept, we knew grief was coming back. That was a misplay. We should have played the Stoneforge because even if it went away, they would have just taken what we got. Yeah, maybe we did this correctly. I don't know. Well, in any case, we have a Stoneforge in our graveyard, so it's going to make it hard for them to cascade again. Let's crack the Prismatic Vista. Just get a white source. Go to our turn. Aether Vial ticking up. Okay. Skyclave Apparition is pretty cool. So let's just play Plains. Swing in for 3. Let's give Pro Blue now. Opponent can't block. Skyclave. I'm going to take out the Shardless Agent, pass it there. It's a lot more reasonable for us to deal with a 3-3 than a 4-4. So they currently have a 3-3. If they kill our Skyclave, then they get a 3-3. So it's a lot more manageable. They're playing Crack a Misty Rainforest. Get a Watery Grave, tapped. Just getting the Yorion to their hand. Okay, we might end up just doing the same. Would love an Urza's Saga. Would feel a lot safer with an Urza's Saga. All right, Aether Vial ticking up. Oh, damn, I'm good. So do we play it this turn? I think so. Urza's Saga. Let's just get Yorion to hand. Swing in with the Solitude. Yeah, sure. Let's just give Pro Blue again. Take it down to 14. Pass the turn there. So what's cool is we can just put Yorion into play if we're not too fussed about constructs. Blink our Solitude and our Skyclave with Giver of Runes protection up for each of them. Skyclave can come back and we'll stack it so that it takes the Architect's Will and Solitude can exile their token. Steam Vents, tapped. They're just passing. Okay. Let's tick up that Aether Vial. It's a Needleverge. I'll run it out. Keep it as a red land. Let's just swing in for 3. Let's give Pro Black. Pass the turn there. Opponent's Violent Outbursting now. Sure. There's your Living End. So now our Stoneforge comes back. Sure, they get a 3-3, but they had a 3-3 before. Let's get a Kaldra with the Stoneforge. Pass the turn there. Scalding Tarn. Just hard casts a Yorion. That doesn't do a lot. You've got a token. All right, let's make a construct. Go to our turn. Aether Vial. Sure, treat yourself. You can tick up. Let's run out another construct. Let's run out a Relic of Progenitus. Let's play the Arid Mesa. Let's crack it now. Get ourselves a plains. This way we can hold up the relic activation. Kaldra comes into play. Go to combat. Swing in for 10. Opponent goes for the double block. Okay. Probably should have arranged the damage differently, but oh well. And we'll just pass it there. Opponent cracks the Scalding Tarn down to 5. Breeding Pool tapped. Opponent swinging in for 4. Okay. Demonic Dread. Okay. Yep. Living End. Kind of cool for them to cast it because we got more back than they did. So what if we put Skyclave on the stack, targeting the Architect's Will? I'm really tempted just to Solitude my own Skyclave here, actually. Well, let's just not choose a target with the Solitude. Take away their blocker. We're still presenting lethal. They're looking at their top 3 cards. Passing to us, Aether Vial going to tick up. Thalia. And opponent scoops it up there. All right, we did that very well. Okay, well, Soul Guide Lantern, tempted with the Magus, but Urza Saga is what wins that for us. Being able to get that relic was good. Archon in. Do we want the rest in pieces? Yeah. I don't think there's anything else. Embereth Shieldbreaker might be good as just a removal spell. Sends it to the graveyard. I don't hate that, actually. All right, what's not good? Prismatic Ending is not good. Everything's big. I think we can probably ditch a Timeless Dragon in this matchup then. And we can cycle it. Okay, no, we can cycle that. Leonin Relic-Warder maybe, because the Embereth does the same thing, but they never get it back because they have artifact creatures. Yeah, let's run it like that. See how it goes. Let's reveal Yorion. I hate this hand, but it's kind of necessary, isn't it? So what happens? We Thalia, they have to wait a turn before they can cascade. We're going to protect Thalia. Maybe we draw into something and get Yorion to hand on turn 3. I guess we can keep. They might just grief us on turn 1 though. All right, Street Wraith. Scalding Tarn. Let's go Plains, Giver of Runes, pass the turn there. They crack the Scalding Tarn, get a Stomping Ground tapped. Okay, it's not a blue source, so maybe Fire and Ice isn't in this list. Oh, that's a blue source though. I could believe that they would ice us. Okay, they're just griefing, so that's going to take the Thalia. Yeah, we didn't keep a lot, opponent. There's no Dranniths to stop this, so rest in peace would be nice. Nope, just another land. Let's just play the Arid Mesa and pass. Maybe we could have chipped in for one there. Giver can't protect itself after all. They cycle another Street Wraith. Fury, evoked. Okay, good to know. So Barrington's come in. They play a Watery Grave. There's the Shardless Agent. They're going to take our Kaldra. They Furied away our board as well, because why not? Let's crack the Arid Mesa. Let's grab a Sacred Foundry tapped. Go to our turn. There it is. Turn too late. Scoop it up. All right, let's bring in the Burringtons. Let's go over a Wisp and 1 Vial. All right, we get to go first this time, so hopefully we can slow them down. Okay, Yorion, do your thing. A 1-lander, but it's got 2 Solitudes, so we're going to keep. Okay, if we draw a land, this hand's great. Let's play the Needleverge as a Pillaverge. Run out Giver of Runes. Pass the turn there. Spire Bluff Canal from our opponent. Land off the top, please, deck. Nope, just another hate piece. Swing in for 1. Pass the turn there. Misty Rainforest. And they pass. Land? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's upsetting. I think we're running 33 lands. Swing in for 1. Pass it there. And it cracks the Misty Rainforest. Stomping Ground, tapped. Darkslick Shores, just getting Yorion to hand. Okay, Sunbaked Canyon, I guess it's Thalia time. Pass the turn there. So if they have Spell into Cascade Spell, we just delayed them a turn. And if we can rip another land, I think we're in the game. Island. But if they have Shardless Agent, they can still cast it all. But they haven't got anything in the graveyard yet. Shardless Agent. Okay. Cascades into Living End just as a board wipe. Okay. Let's go to our turn. Run out Thalia, pass the turn, Striped Riverwinder to the grave, no attacks and passes, Sacred Foundry, okay, let's go to combat, swing in for 2, opponent takes it, Sacred Foundry, yes it paid 2 life, Archon of Emeria, still vulnerable to Fury, but might be good enough, pass it there, opponent spending 3 mana on what? Petty Theft, returning it to our hand, there's nothing we can do about that, Igneous Pouncer goes to the grave. Swamp. An opponent swings in for 2. Let's go to our turn. Esper Sentinel's pretty cool. Let's try for the Archon again. Go to combat. Let's swing in for 2. Opponent takes it down to 13. Pass the turn there. Just casting the Brazen Borrower. Opponent's swinging in. Let's go with a Solitude evoked, getting rid of a Thalia. Opponent's casting Grief. Okay. I just think we let them take something here. They take the Solitude. Maybe they can exile our graveyard. Weathered Wayfarer. All right, well, it's just Stoneforge Mystic here. I think it's just Batterskull. No attacks and pass the turn. Casting the Yorion. Okay, so then they're going to get to grief us again. Yep, and this is why we grabbed Batterskull, because Batterskull's great, but we can also get Kaldra, and if we draw land, that's even better. All right, so grief comes back. What do they take? They take the Stoneforge? Yep, they do. Okay, good choice, opponent. We did draw the land, which means I'm running out Inspiring Vantage, Weathered Wayfarer, and passing. No attacks. Opponent cycles a Horror of the Broken Lands. Swings in the air for 4. Well, we're just going to take it down to 8. Stoneforge, put a Batterskull into play. Hope they don't have the evoke thing. Even if they do, it doesn't have, the evoking creature that can destroy an artifact doesn't have flash. So now let's go to combat. Swing in with the Germ token. Opponent's going to return the Germ to our hand. So we can return the Batterskull to our hand. That stops the thing coming back as well. Don't want them getting any more flyers. So let's return the Batterskull to our hand. And now I guess while our opponents shot their shot, we'll go down to 6. Is it Urza Saga? I think it's Urza Saga. Play Urza Saga. Can't even play an Aether Vial because of Thalia. I think we're dead to a Fury. Opponent cycles a Monstrous Carabid. Opponent swings in like that. So then they can cast the first half. It won't let them cast the second half, but then they can cast another spell. I mean, we got a block, and I think blocking like this is correct. Okay, opponent casts a Violent Outburst. Cascade happens. They can't cast it. Does pump their thing, does get rid of our Archon. We still kill the grief, and we still kill the other thing. But we do go down to 1. So we need a way to deal with this Yorion. Didn't draw it there. Let's crack the Sunbaked Canyon. Didn't draw it there. Is there anything else we can do? We can get our own Yorion to hand and lose. We can put Batterskull into play and lose. That's really disappointing. Even if we play Esper Sentinel, we don't have a white card, even if they do stupidly play into another Solitude. So yeah, that'll do it. Scoop it up. Damn, that's disappointing. So close. Perhaps we shouldn't have let grief take the Solitude. We should have just Solituded the Yorion, or the grief rather. I don't know. Mistakes were made. All right, won the die roll. Let's play first. Reveal our Yorion. Opponent reveals a Loris. I like this hand. Keep it. Let's play Needleverge Pathway and Shadowspear. Pass it there. Sunbaked Canyon. Monastery Swiftspear. Okay, good old-fashioned burn, hey? I think we got a good hand for that. Sure, opponent swings in for 1. We're going to take it. Down to 19. Let's go to our turn. Just play Field of Ruin. Run out Thalia. Pass the turn. Opponent plays another Sunbaked Canyon. Swings in. I'm happy to take it. Down to 18. Go to our turn. Arid Mesa. Let's play it. We are going to spend 2 mana and equip the Shadowspear to the Thalia if they have removal for it, which didn't look like they did for a second there. So then we're just going to attack them. And again, if they have removal now, I'm more than fine with it. Either way, it's gaining his life. Oh, got the hit in. Oh, that's good. That is good. I love Shadowspear against burn decks. I used to run Shadowspear against Prowess main board before Urza Saga was printed. That's how much I love Shadowspear against burn decks. That early hit just buys us a whole turn. All right, they swing in with the Swiftspear. That is fine. Down to 20. Are they stuck? They can't cast any of their spells? Oh no, they've got to skewer the critics that they can use to take out the Thalia. That's more than fair. So Thalia effectively gained us 6 life there and lost our opponent 5 life because they had to pay the extra mana. With their lands, let's crack the Arid Mesa. I think we'll just get a plains here. Got enough red. Go to our turn. Stoneforge Mystic too, hey? Let's run out Needleverge Pathway. I like this turn being a Stoneforge turn. Stoneforge Mystic. Grabbing the Batterskull. And then we could use Charming Prince, get the Kaldra, which means we're more likely to hit a land next turn. Or we could just run out Charming Prince, gain 3 life. I think I like the 3 life. The 3 life buys us a turn as well. And yes, it means we don't get a Kaldra, but life gain while they're tapped out's really good. And then we'll just pass the turn there. Sure, opponent swings in. I'm just going to take it. It's turn 4 and we're on 22 life. And it has the Lightning Helix for the Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so they gained some life, but Stoneforge Mystic gained us 3 life. Take the 2, down to our starting life total of 20. Let's go to our turn. Esper Sentinel's pretty cool. Esper Sentinel's really cool. I think we actually don't attack, play Esper Sentinel, equip. Esper Sentinel. Equip the Esper Sentinel and just pass the turn there. Opponent casts Lava Spike at our face. They have to let us draw. There's a Recruiter. We are down to 17. Skewer the critics on the Esper Sentinel. Okay, now they swing in for 3. I think we take it. Go to our turn. Land is good, so I think right now the best course of action... we should have equipped the Charming Prince with the Shadowspear, attacked and then flickered it, I think might have been the line. Gain 6 life. So now that we can't do that, just go Mountain, Recruiter. We do run a Sanctifier en-Vec, don't we? If I tap my mana differently, play that. Let's equip the Recruiter with the Shadowspear and pass. I'm more than happy to block a Swift Spear with a Shadowspear carrying Recruiter. But yes, we definitely punted by skipping through the main phase. I think Flickerwisp on Charming Prince was way better. And it goes to combat. Opponent swings in. I will just block. Even if they stop us gaining life by making them spend mana with this Sunbaked Canyon, they're hurting themselves, which gets us closer to winning. Lightning Helix at our face. Okay, we're down to 13. Another Solitude's cool. Let's equip the Charming Prince. Go to combat. Swing in for 3. Opponent takes it. We're back up to 16. Let's just go with the Flickerwisp this turn. Flicker the Charming Prince. Comes back. Let's gain another 3. Pass it there. Man, we've gained a lot of life. Opponent swings in. I see no reason to block. Take it down to 18. What's awesome is we've had this Batterskull in our hand for so long and we haven't needed it. Sacred Foundry. Let's play that tapped. Let's equip the Flickerwisp with the Shadowspear. Go to combat. Swing in. Even if they have removal, we'll still deal 1 or 2 to them. Okay, they let it go through, do they? No, just no blocks. They do still take 2 though. To Skull Crack. Okay, players can't gain life this turn. It's tempting to Solitude now. But I mean, we've got them on such a low life total because now they're down to 5. Yeah, let's just get Yorion the hand. Pass the turn there. Opponent does draw their 3rd land. Down to 4. Down to 3 to Searing Blaze on my Flickerwisp. Okay, you have Searing Blazed my Flickerwisp. Lightning Bolt on my Charming Prince. Okay, swinging in for 3. Take it down to 9. Go to our turn. Timeless Dragon. So we can cycle Timeless Dragon, get a land. That gives us 5 mana. Run out Batterskull. Yeah. Cycle Timeless Dragon. Get a Plains. Run out Plains. Let's go for Batterskull here. And I will absolutely Solitude it if they're going to remove it. And then if they want to spend all their mana, they go down to 1 life. Arid Mesa. I'm going to crack it. Lava Spike on my face. Okay. Swinging in. Let's block. Cracking the Arid Mesa. Gets a mountain. Cracking the Sunbaked Canyon to draw. Okay. Got there. All right, that was fun. That was fun. All right, let's bring in the Burrington Forge Tenders. Don't think there's much else. I don't think we need Relic. Archon of Emeria could be good. Relic-Warder's good because it can deal with their enchantment thing. I don't think Weathered Wayfarer is ever going to happen in this matchup though. So I might cut a Weathered Wayfarer. And Archon might be good, but over what? 'Tis the question. I don't think there is any over what. I think that's maybe over 1 Wisp. 1 Archon over 1 Wisp. Flying blocker, bigger back end, stops them casting multiple spells. We need the Phyrexian Revoker. It stops. Phyrexian Revoker and Pithing Needle can both stop that thing that stops us gaining life, as does the Relic-Warder. So Pithing Needle, Phyrexian Revoker. I'm just going to cut all the Flickerwisps. I don't think Timeless Dragon's it. I think we get rid of it. Run it back like that. I don't know what it's called, but there's an enchantment. Deals damage. I'll put it up on the screen. The opponent's probably running that because then they can just pay 1 red mana to stop us gaining life. But if we can get a Revoker or a Pithing Needle on that, then they're in trouble. And we can search up Relic-Warder with Imperial Recruiter as well. They get to go first this time. Let's reveal our Yorion. Yeah, this is a great hand. So we can go turn 1, Field of Ruin, Aether Vial. Let's keep. I don't want to shock myself, but I'm tempted to. Don't realize they're going first. Yep, land and passes. Another Saga. Let's go Field of Ruin, run out Aether Vial, pass. Opponent has Lightning Bolt, passes to us. No, it goes to their turn. Mountain, Eidolon of the Great Revel. Okay, passes to us. Aether Vial, ticking up. Prismatic Ending. Not helpful right now. So we could shock ourselves for 2, put Thalia into play, because they're going to hit us for 2 if we don't. All right, down to 15 we go. Thalia, come on down. We're going to take 2. And then we can start running out these Urza Sagas and Stoneforge Mystics. We are down to 13 though, risky territory. Mountain from our opponent. Searing Blaze. Okay, they take 2, we take some. Yeah, okay. Down to 10, it's not looking good. Swing in for 2. So we could be dead next turn, as early as next turn. Aether Vial, ticking up, yes. Prelate that we can't cast, so let's just go Urza Saga pass. So we shocked ourselves anyway, so we probably should have led on the Sacred Foundry, because then we could have gone turn to Urza Saga. Yeah, okay, that was my bad. But I think I will be able to Aether Vial on 3, Prelate, name 1. Okay, opponent's running out another Eidolon. Okay, well, we're not planning on casting another spell for the rest of the game. They're swinging in for 2. We're going to take it down to 6. Rift Bolt suspended. What's Rift Bolt CMC? 3. Activate Aether Vial. Yes. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Yes. So if we get Shadowspear here, we can cast it, equip it, and attack. Then Sanctum Prelate on 3 to definitely stop that damage. I think it might just be Batterskull here. Okay. Go to our turn. Aether Vial up to 3. Imperial Recruiter. Can't do much. Can't get Solitude with it. So we know we've definitely got 3 coming from this Rift Bolt. So if we Aether Vial, Sanctum Prelate on 3, that's not getting cast unless they bolt it, in which case it still gains us 3 life. And if we've got the other burn spell we've lost anyway, activate Aether Vial in the end step. Sanctum Prelate into play. 3. Okay, pass it there. Rift Bolt, unsuspends. Opponent can't cast it. Beautiful. Goes to combat. No attacks. Batterskull here. We didn't even play our Urza Saga, did we? That was silly. Should have played our other Urza Saga. Aether Vial, staying on 3. We draw Solitude. That's big. We make Construct here. We do. Get Shadowspear. Go to combat. Swing in for 4. No blocks from our opponent. Okay. Back up to 10. I'm pretty happy just to pass it there. We didn't play the Urza Saga again. You ever be so good at Magic you just don't need to play lands? Big old punt. All right, opponent gets Loris to hand and is just passing. So Aether Vial, Imperial Recruiter. What can we get? Let's get a 3-drop. Let's get a Skyclave. We could get the Archon. Let's get the Archon. Go to our turn. Aether Vial, staying on 3. We drew a Plains. We're going to play the Urza Saga, which would have gone off by now. And we played it when we were supposed to. Okay. Let's equip the Construct with the Shadowspear. Go to combat. Swing in for 9 life linking damage. Opponent's just going to take it. Let's pass the turn there. Now they know about the Archon. Yay! All right, we punted a lot, but we still got there. I'm really happy with how that went, actually. Very lucky game 1 to draw the Shadowspear so early, and then game 2 they just weren't able to do anything. They kept a slow hand with Eidolons and Bolts rather than a fast hand with Shadowspears and stuff, and we're just great against spells. The Sanctum Prelate on 3 stopped them casting what I imagine was an enormous number of burn spells, so very happy with how that went. Alright, round 4. We've lost the die roll. Let's reveal our Yorion. Opponent reveals their Loris. Let's keep this hand. Bloodstained Mire and passes. Okay. Prismatic Ending. Let's just play Plains Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn there. When it cracks the Bloodstained Mire in the end step. Blood Crypt. Tapped. Urborg. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, let's go to our turn. Imperial Recruiter. Arid Mesa. Let's crack it. Get ourselves a Sacred Foundry. I will pay 2 life. We didn't have to do that actually because of this Urborg. A Prismatic Ending can actually tap for 3 now. I still think it's correct to do it now though. Red, white, Prismatic Ending. On the Dothy Voidwalker, go to combat, swing in for 1, take it down to 18, pass the turn there. Inquisition of Kozilek, costs 2. Get to take a card from our hand. I'm guessing Recruiter here. Maybe it's another Sentinel. Yep, Recruiter. Not a very good card, but has infinite potential, so they're worried. Let's go to our turn. Solitude. Let's just play Arid Mesa, run out another Sentinel, pass the turn there. No passing. Let's attack. Gotta remember to attack, Chip. Bloodstained Mire, Turak Dread Cantor. Okay, and it was kicked, so we're going to discard 2 cards at random.
That is bad news.
Okay, let's crack the Arid Mesa, grab a Plains. Go to our turn. Recruiter's nice. What can Recruiter get us? Well, let's find out. Still the best play. It can block the Turak for a turn at least. Stoneforge or Sanctifier? I think we go Stoneforge here. Yeah, Stoneforge. Pass the turn there. No attacks. Blackcleave Cliffs enters tapped. Thoughtseize, unfortunate. They do pay the extra. Take the Stoneforge. That's disappointing. I think we block now. I mean, it's basically just gain 5 life at this point. Go to our turn. Aether Vial's not too helpful. So we could play Aether Vial, nothing, or we can get Yorion to hand. Think we get Yorion to hand here. Go to combat, swing in for 2. Pass the turn there. Croxa. Okay, Croxa happens. We're going to ditch Aether Vial. I suppose Urza Saga can also help us deal with this Turak because we're able to block it, but it's getting pretty big. Now they get Loris to hand. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Swing in for 6. We're going to take it down to 10. Go to our turn. Inspiring Vantage. Let's play it. I guess we attack. There's no reason not to. Pass the turn there. Any burn spell, we're dead. Kicked Dread Cantor. Okay. So we're dead next turn. We don't have anything that can deal with that right now, do we? Urza Saga won't get counters in time. Solitude won't keep us alive. We can't fog the damage. Imperial Recruiter can keep us alive for a turn. Okay, let's run that out then. Field of Ruin and we're dead. Okay. Man, they've got a lot of main deck anti-white cards.
That's racist.
Man, I don't know what we do against this. We don't have enough non-white cards.
That's racist.
I don't think we're fast enough to get around it, so Rest in Peace is probably good. Same with Soul Guide Lantern. Do we want the Magasai? I don't think so. I think because they're red-black, they have the removal for it. I don't think it matters. Oh dear. Well, they didn't see Urza's Saga, so they won't be bringing in the Alpine, so Leonin Relic-Warder can go away. 4 more cuts to make. Now, is this Crocs a Jun-style deck? And so normally against those, I cut things like Aether Vial because I want a lot of threats. And I think that's the line here. People will get mad at me for cutting them though. All right, we got Urza Saga. We can just keep 1 and 1 Wisp. Let's run it back like that. Let's play first. Yorion, come on down. Yeah, we're going to keep this one. Plains and Pass. Bloodstained Mire. They crack it. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Okay, do you take Kaldra or Stoneforge, opponent? Take the Stoneforge. Okay. Passes to us. Thalia's good. Urza Saga. Let's run out Thalia. That Shadow guy might be a problem. That might be why they kept the Kaldra in hand. So then they can Dothy Voidwalker it back. Cavern Cans from our opponent. Graven Cans. Pyrite Spellbomb. Okay. Passes to us. Charming Prince is cool. Let's just play Mountain and go to combat. Swing in for 2. Opponent takes it, pass the turn. Opponent uses the Pyrite Spellbomb to hit our Thalia. Okay. Black mana to Thoughtseize. Sure, what do you take? Takes the Charming Prince. Passes to us. Urza Saga doing its thing. Thalia again. Urza Saga continues to do its thing. Think we want Soul Guide here? No, we're going to get Relic here. And we're going to play another Urza Saga. Go to combat. Swing in for 3. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. Engineered Explosives on 0. Okay. Let's make him exile a card. Shadowspear is pretty cool. So Urza Saga ticking up. Let's play Field of Ruin. Run out Shadowspear. Go to combat. Swing in for 8. Yep. Opponent pops the Engineered Explosives now. Let's just pass the turn. Ragavan. Not dashing it. Okay. Pyrite Spellbomb. Sure. I can respect it. Let's make construct. It can survive the spell bomb. Let's make a construct. Let's get a pithing needle. We don't have pithing needle. I guess just Aether Vial will do then. Field of Ruin. Equip the construct with the Shadowspear. Go to combat. And opponent scoops it up there. Very nice. Okay, so now I think Relic-Warders come in and maybe even Pithing Needle. We need to bring back in the Relic-Warder because they might be bringing in Alpine Moons. So now we've got 4 cuts to make. Gonna cut the Flickerwisps. Tempted to cut the Wayfarer. Don't know what to cut. Well, our removal's great. They're playing a lot of hand hate. So what are things that get better even with hand hate? Esper Sentinel, Sanctum Prelate justified because it stops the Thoughtseizers and stuff. So, oh dear. Charming Prince, probably the worst one so far. It does blink, but that's just a side effect, I guess. Maybe just 1 Revoker, I guess. Run it back like that. We can't fetch up the Revoker. We got the Pithing Needle. We got 2 of those effects. So we can name Engineered Explosives. Yorion, revealed. Hand, unkeepable. Mulliganing against a Thoughtseize deck. Guess it's better. Keeps, throw back, Plains. Den of the Bugbear from our opponent. To a Ragavan. Alright, that basically seals up our turn 1 play. Pithing Needle's cool. So, Inspiring Vantage, Burrington. Pass the turn there. Bloodstained Mire. They crack it. Blood Crypt. Untapped. Pyrite Spellbomb. That is unfortunate. On the Burrington. Well, let's sacrifice the Burrington. Choose the Ragavan. No attacks from Ragavan. Imperial Recruiter. Prismatic Vista. Let's crack it. Get ourselves a Plains. Esper Sentinel. Prismatic Ending. On the Ragavan. Pass the turn there. Shizu, just getting Loris to hand. Okay, passes to us. That's a Stoneforge, so let's play Arid Mesa, crack it, get a Plains. Let's run out Stoneforge, get the Kaldra, Pithing Needle, naming Pyrite Spellbomb because they've got the Loris to hand. Go to combat, swing in for 1. Hope they can't kick a Dread Cantor here. Unholy Heat on the Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, do they pay the 1? They do. Okay, so we're still taxing them. That's good. Engineered Explosives on 1. Well, I didn't think they'd have both. If we could draw a way to deal with that, I'd be very happy. Shadowspear, not great. Imperial Recruiter. Could get Skyclave, stop them playing Loris. I think it is just Stoneforge Mystic here. Go to combat. Swing in for 1. Pass the turn there. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Get a Blood Crypt tapped. Turok. So they're getting rid of the Kaldra or the Stoneforge. Either is bad. Okay, so we keep the Kaldra. But yeah, Turak's a problem. There's a big old problem. Graven Cans, cool. Go to our turn. Land, not great. Play it as a white land. I guess get Yorion to hand here. Pass, no attacks. Engineered Explosives does its thing. Dashes a Ragavan. Swings in. I guess we take it this turn. Opponent took our Plains off the top. Hope there's another one there. Alpine Moon, that's fine. We knew that was coming. Unfortunately, it does mean 4 of our lands are no longer lands. Although it does send the Ragavan back to their hand. Plains? Oh, Opponent with the Soul Read. Goodness sake. All right, well, we'll pass. But I'm 90% sure we're dead. Yep, Loris for the Pyrite, or the Engineered. Although I would go for the Pyrite personally. Yep, gonna take out our Recruiter. Maybe we should have blocked last turn. Well, I guess we just block now. Go to our turn. Thalia, which they can just immediately kill. Might as well cast. Yep, opponent does just pop it now. Pyrite Spellbomb comes back. Ragavan comes back. What is that? That's 5, 8, 9. 9 damage, which means we're dead. Nothing we draw can stop the Turok except for the Imperial Recruiter, but then they've got the Pyrite Spellbomb for that. So yeah, I don't see any point in continuing playing. Oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. Yeah, just they drew the Alpine Moon at the perfect time. If they hadn't drawn it then at least we could have cast the Yorion and been swinging in the air while all this was happening. But yeah, they just drew the perfect cards when they needed them and we did not. Oh well. All right, lost the die roll. Let's reveal our Yorion. Let's keep this hand. Opponent plays a Scalding Tarn and cracks it. Steam Vents, untapped. Ragavan, yay. Plains, Esper Sentinel, pass the turn there. Misty Rainforest, they crack it. Get an island. Lightning Bolt. We don't get to draw. Sure, they hit us. Hit a Prismatic Ending. Unfortunately, they are not casting it on their own Ragavan. Aether Vial. Inspiring Vantage, Aether Vial, Giver of Runes. I mean, maybe we could have played Urza Saga there, but I'm a little worried about Blood Moon. These lists tend to be Blue Moon lists. Dragon's Rage Channeler, yep, swings in. Well, let's block. That worked. That's good. Go to our turn. Aether Vial, ticking up. Sunbaked Canyon. Let's run out Urza Saga here, and then we're going to try and Skyclave now. That draws out a counterspell, which yes is painful, but it made them sacrifice their treasure, so they're down on mana now. Pass it there. Opponent swings in for 1. We're just going to take it. Oh, they ditched a Ragavan as well. Okay. Serum Visions. Gives them their card types, I think. So why didn't they do that pre-combat? Were they thinking maybe we'd vial something in and aggressively block? Spire Bluff Canal. Oh, here's a big old Murktide. Yep. Big old Murktide. Aether Vial. Ticking up. Charming Prince. Okay. Is there anything that we can get that can deal with this Murktide? Literally just Solitude, and we can't grab Solitude. Let's just pass. Fiery Islet. Opponent swings in. Activate Aether Vial. Charming Prince into play. We're going to scry 2 here. Both of these to the bottom. Let's block the Dragon's Rage. Okay, opponent's going to Unholy Heat now. Should have done it before. We literally just scried so we can maybe draw a Solitude. All right, let's make a construct. Go to our turn. Let's tick this up to 3 because Flickerwisp helps. And I would like to Flickerwisp if we can. Sanctifier does not help. I think we have to tap the Saga for mana here so we can equip Shadowspear. Play Needleverge Pathway as a white land. Run out the Sanctifier. So it's going to do 2 more damage. That draws out a counterspell. Okay. Now we equip. Swing in for 4. Take it down to 12. We're back up to 15. Okay. Pass the turn there. Second Murktide. Okay. That hurts a little bit. Now they swing in. Activate Aether Vial. Imperial Recruiter. What do we tutor up here? Is there anything that helps? Yeah. Why doesn't this deck have at least one Brutal Cathar or Fiend Hunter or something? You need something you can fetch with that can deal with the Murktide. Murktide's in the format, guys. Maybe it is just another Imperial Recruiter, thin the deck. I think it is, because we want to draw Solitudes. Then we Imperial Recruiter, get the Esper Sentinel, and hope we hit Solitude. Okay, let's block the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Put a stop in our upkeep. Aether Vial goes on the stack. In response, Imperial Recruiter comes down. Still Esper Sentinel here. And hope that we draw the Solitude. We get 2 looks at it. And then we will tick up the Aether Vial, Sunbaked Canyon, Cracker to draw, Stoneforge, and Dead. Okay. No path in the sideboard either. That's fun. Burrington Forge Tenders, come in. Rest in Pieces, come in. Phyrexian Revokers, no help. Magus the Moon, no help. Pithing Needle, no help. Soulguide Lantern, come in. Why is there no Brutal Cathar or Fiend Hunter or something? This guy can't grab the other bits of our removal. Prismatic Ending can't hit a Murktide. This deck is so close, and it's just not got it. Relic-Warder's important. I think it's Wayfarer goes away here. Timeless Dragon as well, I guess. I just don't know what to cut. I hate this matchup because I have no idea what to cut. Flickerwisp's one of the only things we got that can deal with the Murktide. That's what I would normally take out. Charming Prince goes away. I'm cutting the Relic-Warder. I know they're probably a Blood Moon deck, but I'm cutting it. And the Prismatic Ending. Run it back like that. I know that was wrong, but I don't know what else we could have cut. All right, let's go first. Reveal the Yorion. Okay, let's keep this hand. Inspiring Vantage. Aether Vial. Pass it there. Opponent plays a Misty Rainforest. Gets a Steam Vents. Untapped. Ragavan. Okay. Mishra's Bauble. Looking at our top card, I assume. Yep, let's go to our turn. Aether Vial, ticking up. Another Aether Vial. I don't hate running that out. So run out second Aether Vial. Stoneforge next turn, take a Ragavan hit. Stoneforge comes down, gets Kaldra, they kill it. Then they get Imperial Recruiter, another Stoneforge. Yeah, and we can get Yorion to hand. Okay, let's play Needleverge Pathway. Run out Aether Vial. Pass. I mean, it's not like we wanted to block Ragavan anyway. Crack the Scalding Tarn, get a Steam Vents. Run out the Dragon's Rage. Mishra's Bauble. Swings in. Take it. They hit an Imperial Recruiter that they can't cast. Crack the Bauble. Go to our turn. Aether Vial's ticking up. Plains is good. Let's play Mountain. Make them think Blood Moon's better than it is. They saw the Plains already, didn't they? Oh well. Let's get Yorion to hand. Pass the turn there. Opponent casts Consider. Scalding Tarn. They swing in. We're going to take it. They hit the Flickerwisp. They're not casting it though. Activate Aether Vial. Stoneforge Mystic into play. Let's get Kaldra. Okay, opponent does have Lightning Bolt. Let's go to our turn. Aether Vial's ticking up. Inspiring Vantage into play tapped. Pass the turn. Expressive Iteration. Lightning Bolt into exile. I see. Swing in for 5. I guess we take it. Opponent got rid of an Urza Saga of ours. Goes to the end step. Activate Aether Vial. Imperial Recruiter. Sanctifier en-Vec. Opponent casts Lightning Bolt now. Hitting our face. Okay. Yeah, maybe we could have done this in combat. Yeah, we would have exiled 2 cards, an instant and a sorcery. Yeah, that would have got rid of the 4th card type. Yeah, I hadn't thought of this. Alright, well, Aether Vial, activate. Sanctifier down. We go down to 7. Go to our turn. Aether Vial's 1 ticking up, I guess. Keep the 1 on 2. Tick up the 1 on 3. Plains and pass. This means maybe we can cast a Solitude as well. Okay. Look, it's not great, but we're in a better position than we've been in the past. It cracks Scalding Tarn for an island. Casts another Dragon's Rage. Casts a Murktide. No attacks and passes. Okay. Keep the other Aether Vial on 2. Tick the other one up to 5. Let's play Inspiring Vantage. Pass the turn. Opponent swings in for 5. Activate Aether Vial. Solitude into play. Target the Murktide. Got it. Cool. Engineered Explosives. Okay, this only deals with the Sanctifier though. Ditching another Engineered Explosives. Interesting. Now they're passing to us. Okay. Keep the other Aether Vial on 2. Keep the other Aether Vial on 5. Play Sacred Foundry tapped. Go to combat. Swing in for 2. But it cracks the Engineered Explosives. So then we're going to activate Aether Vial. Yorion into play. Blink, blink, blink. And sure, let's blink the Aether Vial on 5. Now things come back. We're going to exile Dragon's Rage. Oh, an opponent scoops it up there. Very nice. Okay. So that was good. Any changes? Prismatic Ending, so good. We know they've got the Engineered Explosives, so maybe the Pithing Needle. What though? Man, it's so hard making cuts. I think all their removal is 1 mana. So Sanctum Prelate's still really good. They got Bolt, they got Unholy Heat, and they got a bunch of cantrips. Yeah, that's still really good. I don't think we need the Pithing Needle anymore. I don't. I do like the Prismatic Endings though. Getting rid of their early threats is very good. Over a Vial? They've got too many counter spells. We only have 1 Sanctifier in the Burringtons. Is it Flickerwisp here? Okay, we have the Urza Sagas, so functionally we have more Aether Vials. So we're going to keep just 3 Aether Vials in the deck, I think. That's what we're going to do. If that's wrong, let me know. Let's reveal the Yorion. Yeah, let's keep this one. So opponent gets to go first. Spire Bluff Canal, Ragavan. Okay, Mishra's Bauble. I mean, this is pretty much the opening hand we want to fight Ragavan. They look at our top card. Sanctum Prelate. Okay. Inspiring Vantage. Prismatic Ending on the Ragavan. Pass the turn there. Hope this Thalia resolves. They cast Consider, get an island, Serum Visions. Okay, Mishra's Bauble. They might just be going for fast Murktides here. We don't really have a lot of removal for that. Or maybe, oh, they saw the Sanctum Prelate and they're casting all their 1-drops. I get it. Go to our turn. Well, I'm taking a risk. Urza Saga Thalia here. Pass the turn there. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Passes to us. Solitude. Okay. Field of Ruin. Pass. No attacks. They can't Blood Moon here. They can Alpine Moon, but they can't Blood Moon, which means our Urza Saga is probably going to go off unless they have the Alpine Moon. So they're going to swing in for 3. We will just take it. Bolt on the Thalia. Sure thing. Serum Visions. Okay. Man, I would love to draw a Plains here. End step. Let's make a construct. Go to our turn. What do we draw? Flickerwisp. Okay. So if we tap the Urza Saga for mana, we can just get Aether Vial. We can make a construct, get Aether Vial. Prismatic Ending next turn. I'm just worried about a Murktide, although we do have the Solitude for the Murktide. Okay, let's make a construct. We could get Soul Guide Lantern, attack, and then exile their graveyard. Yep, Soul Guide Lantern. Just get rid of the Lightning Bolt, I suppose. There is a Murktide Regent in the bins. They might have already had one earlier, which is why they didn't keep it. So then we swing in for 3, and then in the end step, I think it's in our opponent's draw step. Opponent draws, exile their their graveyard. Pass the turn there. Expressive Iteration, that's good. What do they show us? Engineered Explosives, yep. Sucks, but what are we going to do? Hopefully they don't have a land, I guess. Nope, they got it. All right, there's the land. Just doing it now, though. Okay. Well, a Plains would be lovely. Plains, Burrington Forge Tender, Prismatic Ending. Pass the turn there. Expressive Iteration, Lightning Bolt. That's fine. Passes. I think it's until the end of their turn. Okay, so they're holding up Counterspell, quite obviously. Just go with a Rest in Peace then. Force the Counterspell. Yep. Go to combat. Swing in for 1. Pass the turn there. Ragavan dashed. Okay, maybe attacking was bad. We're going to take the hit. It hit us for 2. Aether Vial was good. I didn't want to draw that one, actually. Steam Vents tapped. They're casting Aether Vial. Okay. Ragavan goes back again, holding up another counter, I'm guessing. Sacred Foundry's cool. Let's just play it tapped. Yorion the hand. I guess we pass. All right, they've shot their shot. We've shot our shot. Can just get this Sanctum Prelate down on 1. I'd be happy. Jace the Mind Sculptor. That hurts. Brainstorms with Jace. Misty Rainforest. They crack it. Get an island. Just passing. Definitely have Counterspell up. Let's cast Esper Sentinel. That resolves. Sanctum Prelate. Unholy Heat on the Esper Sentinel. Are you paying the 1? They are. Okay. Casts Consider. Okay, then let's name 2. No attacks and pass. We're running low on time though. So they've cast all their 1-drops because they feared the Sanctum naming 1. So we named 2 to stop a counterspell. They're just brainstorming with Jace. Okay. But I don't think this list runs cryptics and stuff. Maybe Archmages? I think it is mostly just counterspell as their counters. Yeah, Unholy Heat on the Sanctum Prelate. I guess we sacrifice the Burrington. 2 mana for a Murktide. Okay. Passes to us. That's a land. Let's play it. Crack it. Let's get a Plains. Try and just hardcast Solitude here. I think we gotta. That resolves. Hit the Murktide. No attacks. Because they've got a Ragavan. Pass the turn. Brazen Borrower. So then they've got a Ragavan in hand and 1 unknown. Oh, they might not even have the Ragavan thanks to the Jace. Okay. Misty Rainforest. They crack it. Steam Vents. Tapped. Jace does its thing. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And 1 unknown. Probably not a 2-drop. Mishra's Bauble. Okay. They swing in for 3. We're going to take it. They crack the Bauble looking at our top card. What do we draw? Shadowspear. Interesting. So we could go Recruiter, get a 2-drop, ruin their day. Let's just go for a Yorion here. Yorion the Solitude, no attacks. Solitude comes back. We're going to take out the Dragon's Rage. Pass the turn there. Gonna have to play fast. Unholy Heat, yep, hurts. Dashing in a Ragavan. Swings in. Let's block the Ragavan, I guess. Let's go to our turn. Land is great. Imperial Recruiter. Skyclave Apparition. Sacred Foundry. Pay 2 life. Skyclave Apparition. Take out the Jace. Go to combat. What's the chances they've got another Ragavan? Brazen Borrower. Okay, but Brazen Borrower can only block creatures with flying, so we just have to hope they don't have a bolt, and then we can Shadowspear. Fiery Islet. Swings in. Take it down to 2. Go to our turn. Another Imperial Recruiter. Let's cast Shadowspear. Equip Shadowspear. Swing in for 3. Opponent takes it. Now we can Flickerwisp, target our Recruiter. Recruiter comes back. Get another Skyclave. Pass the turn. Hope they don't draw removal for the Flickerwisp. Cracking the Fiery Islet. Swings in. Go to blocks. Block the Flickerwisp. Hope it's not a bolt. Another Skyclave. Let's go to combat. Swing in for 3. Take it. Let's run out Skyclave. Let's take out the Brazen Borrower. Let's run out Imperial Recruiter. Just get Stoneforge Mystic. Pass the turn there. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass to us. Sunbaked Canyon. Skyclave Apparition. Take out the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Go to combat. Guess we just swing in with these. We didn't cast the Stoneforge because we're stressing about time. Let's draw a card. Go to our turn. Swing in with the Skyclaves. Pass the turn there. Hey! Yes! Got there. We got there. Oh, that was close with time. We made so many misplays at the end with the Stoneforge. But yeah, that Sanctum Prelate on 2, that did a lot. That did an awful lot. Okay. Let's go to the wrap-up, hey? All right, by Lux 80 card Yorion red-white taxes list with Imperial Recruiter. I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. A few misplays here and there. Misplay against Living End probably cost us the game. We should have solituded in response to the grief rather than just letting them take it. I think by that point we had confirmed that they weren't going to be able to Living End again. And even if they did, we still would have got our Solitude back. So there was no reason for us not to do that. That was a bit silly on my part. So that definitely cost us the game. Their Yorion was just able to beat in and we didn't have enough flyers to deal with it. So that's frustrating. We lost to the Turak list because Turak beats up our deck because it has pro white. So maybe we could run something in the sideboard that could deal with that. A few bolts, maybe even colorless things that we can search for with Urza's Saga that could take something like that out. Things like Brittle Effigy or something. Very niche, but even just a one-of might be nice. Can deal with a lot of things. And that's another issue as well. We have nothing we can search up with Imperial Recruiter that can take out a Murktide. And given Skyclave and Prismatic Ending cannot take out a Murktide, we're stuck looking for our Solitudes and our Flickerwisps. And Flickerwisp doesn't take it out forever, just can blink it. So I think we need something like Fiend Hunter or Brutal Cathar. Maybe even Brittle Effigy is actually it. Maybe I nailed it on the first guess. That we can use our Urza Saga to get, or our Imperial Recruiter to get, just to take out Murktide, because people are running Murktide. It's a popular card. It's a very good card. I do love the Prismatic Endings with the Thalia though, because the Thalia tax doesn't affect our Prismatic Endings, unless we're hitting exactly a 1-drop, in which case I think we're fine paying 2 mana for. But we need something, whether it is paths in the board or another form of removal. But overall, had a lot of fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. And until next time, have fun.